Tēnā anō rā tātāu, kai te mihi atu, kua hoki mai anō tātāu ki roto ki Hawaikirangi. Hawaikirangi I tēnei wā tonu. Kaua e māharahara ki te ū mai te kōrero, ki te ū atu te ki, kia whakaputa ki atu anō te ingoa o te pēne. Hoi anō kai te pai tira. Te mea nui kua anga tika te ingoa, kua anga pai, ana I nā iana, ko te āhuatanga, ko te mea, kia hāngai ai te ingoa ki tō te ao pūoro, ne? Ki tō te ao pūoro. Hoi anō, he take kōrero anō tēnā, hai tōna wā, ki te wā puta mai ai etahi, kia au I tēnei rā, hai muri pia I te whāonga haora, taku mōhio, ka puta iho mai etahi anō te pēne, te kōrero atu I tērā taha kia mātau o Hawaikirangi. No reira, nau mai haere. Nau mai haere anō I runga I te whakaaro nui, ki tō tātou runga rawa. Kia te karaiti, te iehua. Ki aia, e tau mana ki rawa nei, e tau tia ki rawa nei a tātou mātau. Tātou anō koau, tātou mā koau. Ai ngā wā katoa, aonoa pōnoa aonoa. Puta atu. Tēnā tātou, tēnā rā tātou katoa. Yeah, welcome. Warm greetings to everyone back into Hawaikirangi. What I was just saying there is, don't be surprised if our name gets changed again and we end up something else. Because even though the direction and the targeting, the positioning of our name is absolutely brilliant, we now need to position it in the industry, in the music industry, which is not a problem. And some of our members will show up today sometime after 4 to discuss that take on the show today. Otherwise, we're carrying on answering the te rua pātaira, understanding. How can I understand this music more, reggae music, and te tuarua. How do I play? How do I make reggae music? Well, we've given you heaps of tips. And that's all we're doing. You know, this is not Reggae 101 or anything like that. We don't want to come into the industry and we play, you know, we've got a bit of a handle on the music. There seems to be a quality a little bit better than most, and not a quality that we boast. And also there's something in what we are guessing, giving some tips out to everybody else so that we can all play good reggae music, because I think that's what we're all in the industry for. And that's why we've come in. You know, we love reggae music too, and we want to make songs that people don't ever want to stop listening to, and that's what the quality of what reggae, that's the quality we should be aiming for. Yeah, so that take is coming up. Otherwise, we're still answering those two pātai, and we're doing that today. Kia inoi tātou, takuari ki atua, te iehua. Kua arahina mai rā mātau e koe ki roto ki tēnei wā tonune. Tēnei wā kua tau ake anō mātau, he nui anō no mātau o roto I te pēne kua au atu ai ki ngā whakaharatau, ki ngā pirake tihi, ki ngā pireke tihi, ki e rā wā, kia tino whakawhanaunga hi atu mātau, kia mātau anō, kia u atu anō, te rongo, te āhuatanga ki te puoro ki ingi mangu o Hawaikirangi, Wairani, hai muri ake nei. Me tō mātai whai atu I tēnei puoro no nānoa. No nānoa. No reira taku ariki atua. Whakamoe miti. Ki tō hou ingoa matahi apo. Āmene. Kia ora mai rā tātou. Now, there was one song I introduced last week, and it's a song I think we're going to go with pretty heavily. So I thought I'd do it again this week. This particular song. Te iehua atua ariki, he himene anō. Yeah, we're only going to drop the odd himene anō. It's only the himenes I'm doing because they're the easiest. No, they're not the easiest, but they're the only ones that are springing to mind at the moment. And let's put it this way, they're our foundations. Because we have a wairua, we're going to carry a wairua or a spirituality, a wairua and a waitahi, including the soul of our music, into our music through Christianity. And so himene are a bit of a big deal to us, but we're not going to try and be a Christian band or anything like that. We're going to carry Christian way. And it's a really neat way. A life with Christ is and a relationship with the Lord is something I'm cherishing very, very much. And so why not bring it into the band that I lead as well? And lo and behold, happens to be a reggae band. He pēne kiingi mangu, puoro kiingi mangu, oro kiingi mangu, and one that looks to, well, let's put it this way, we want to make our mark in the New Zealand music industry, locally, regionally and nationally. So those are the first steps. We're looking to take. And if there's opportunities to go world, I'm not too sure that I would go world. I possibly, I don't know. There might be some places that I would go world. Perhaps Australia, perhaps, our Pacific Islands and some of the other countries that we descend from as a hapu nui tonu super tribal entity that's tahu mā kāka nui matua. And by the way, our sponsor is Tūtahu Trust Tahu Investments Limited. Tō mātau pūtea tautoko, pūtea muni tautoko ko Tūtahu Trust Tahu Investments Limited. Tō mātau tarati o raro iho I tō mātau kamupene aroha atu ki te tāngata. Tērā Tahu Investments Limited, he kamupene mātauru. E tāma, e tātauma. Yeah, and so that waiata, te iehua atua ariki. It's, being a gospel-y sung, soul-driven, waiata, himene, it seems to have taken off with people. And actually, I'm not joking to you, but all our songs, in terms of being reggae songs, have struck a really nice chord with people. With the band, firstly, but especially with people who know a bit about the industry, who know a bit about music. And so we're coming a long way. Sorry, I'm stalling here a little bit. Kai te rua ngahuru meniti ki te whao ngā haora. Te Aloha mai. Yeah, I'm usually a bit tired at this time of the day, but kai te pai. Maybe that'll help me play a few notes. Yeah, Kelvin Raiwa ko Hamuera, I think they're the ones coming in today. And Neelos was supposed to, but I'm thinking he's tied up with his kids, and that would be the case. And so, kai te pai tira, especially where there's whānau concerned. We always tell our whānau, hey, the band is about whānau. It's about whakawhanaungatanga. And it's about working together and being family together and helping each other play our part, you know. And so why not bring the whānau in? So sometimes, yeah, we might end up with some of our own whānau here, which is going to be a really good thing. Yeah, so even the name Hawaikirangi might change very, very soon. But we'll end up with a name, probably a single, very, very easily understood name that will do good for promotions, a lot better for business promotions. And I know all those things, but I'm not really worried about any of that at the moment. It's just that some of the band have brought it up, so I went, yeah, okay, then I wasn't going to worry about that till later, till maybe we get onto our first recording, which I'm hoping to actually be either our song All the Glory. We've got a song called All the Glory. We've got another one called Oroki ngi mangu te roto o, which is reggae in your reggae. Yeah. Translated, that means reggae in your reggae. We've got a song called that. And we decided to translate it. It's a rap song. It's actually rap right through it. Reggae rap, so it's dance hall rap. It's a dance hall rap number, that one. Reggae in your reggae. I actually might put an English version out too, so yeah, people get the gist of that whole song, because it's quite a difficult one for people to understand. Targeted at 15-year-olds plus, up to 25-year-olds plus. So we're right in that bracket there with a dancehall number that's rap. Goes. I'll just do a little bit on that one. There's a whole lot of, it's so colourful, the rap and reggae. I love rap and reggae because it's so much more interesting than any other rap. Any other rap is pretty predictable, but rap and reggae is never predictable until you've heard it, It's never really predictable, and that's what I like about it. And it's so colourful. Guandi reggae, guandi tap, guandi reggae, guandi tap, reggae. I'm just stamping this one. Forget notes. Beep, 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 beep. Got a bit of colouring there from the brassies, from the saxophone, from the trombone and the trumpet. So then it goes. It's got a rapper in there. One reggae, go on the top. One reggae, go on the top. Sorry, I've done a mistake there. Yeah. You know why I was so hesitant in the first couple of programs, eh? Because mistakes are easy to make on you, eh? And especially in a studio when you're so sensitive to everything. Yeah, that's all. And then it goes into the double split. Now that rap goes for about, I think it's got 2 verses. And I think that's got a ska rhythm underneath. So it's not the main rhythm, the ska. You reggae, yeah, now you reggae. Reggae, yeah, now you reggae. Bitty little dip. Yeah, I can't quite get it because there's so much in it. Yeah, that's a real dancehall rap. And back to Te Hua Atua Ariki, our bluesy soul. Still trying to get through the himene. I'm not sure if we play it in A. Here it is, I think. I'm in A7. Te hua atua ariki, e tahua rako kwai. Had to break my voice again there. Te hua atua ariki, e tahua rako kwai. He rongo marire, e ngā mariki. Sorry, nearly went into the wrong chord there. Toho whetu marama e. Just watching my levels there. I'll go through it again. That's just the main part. Te hua atua ariki, e tahua rako kwai. Sorry. He rongo marire, e ngā wari. Te hua atua ariki, o koe, yeah. Yeah, I'll just do that part for that, because it's taken me so long to get through. Yeah, e tataima. So, yeah, that's all the goings on there with the band. Don't be surprised if our name is changed again and we differ slightly in the future. Yeah, because we now are ready to start aligning with the industry. Okay, hopefully you can hear me properly still there. And but yeah, let's get on to today's show. Plenty still to get through. Mai I te tuangahuru me niti ki te whao ngā haora. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Yeah, te iehua atua ariki. Yeah, te iehua atua ariki. Oh, beautiful Lord. Oh, Lord, how beautiful you are. You are so, so beautiful. That's what I'm singing. Oh, Lord, you are so, so beautiful. Yeah. One of those old-time favourites. And we do it in bluesy soul gospel. Reggae. And that's another thing with reggae songs. Reggae songs are reggae right from the start to the end. It doesn't matter what stage you're at in the song. They're reggae songs right from the start to the end. And this is a bit more based on what the kaupapa is for these next couple of weeks. I think we finish this not next week, but not next week, but the week after we'll probably finish this, answering these two partai. And then we can get into a lot of our compositions, which is what a lot of our kōrero is about. Band members, events, we've got gigs coming up. Gigs at Tin Hut, gigs at Gladstone, and gigs at Citizens and Services. And, we're going to be talking about those. We even show you clips from those. Watching us at work with our art, watching our artistic capabilities in reggae music, which is why we're giving out these tips, because sadly our reggae music in New Zealand isn't doing so well. But that's one of those things. Taiwa. It's one of those things about competition that people like me who have played reggae music for so long, and that's not the only music I play. Like reggae itself is made up of jazz, funk, blues, soul, gospel, especially in the voice, especially in reggae voice, gospel, and did I get them? And R&B, rhythm and blues. Yeah, so that's jazz, funk, soul. So when reggae hit the shores, when the one-drop music hit the shores around the world, hit all the foreign shores around the world from Africa, all those musics came with it. Jazz, and all those sorts of music. So, and they're the musics that make up reggae music. They're sort of they epitomise all the different components in reggae music: R&B, soul, funk. So it's a very, very much a dance music. So make it that, have a good time with it. Make a happy day a happy day. Let the one you love know that she makes you excitable, or that she's so delightful, I've got a reggae song. I'm going to give you a snippet of it today. It's called He. in our reo. That reo in that himene, by the way, is the reo of Tahumā Kākanui Matua. That's our hapu nui tonu super tribal entity, and we are particularly concerned with Tahumā Kākanui Matua at the moment, of the western regions, of the western division of the country. We're talking prehistory. So we're talking before the coming of the crown, before the coming of Captain Cook. We had territories in the country called Te Tai Hauauru Aukati, Te Tai Rāwhiti Aukati, Te Tai Tokerau Aukati, and Te Tai Tonga Aukati. And, of course, our tribe is one of the oldest tribes of the country. We come from out of the Te Awa tribe, which is a tribe of Moai Hapu. Our tribe was called firstly Te Tura Te Matua, and then from Te Tura Te Matua and Iratūroto Te Matua, who came out of there as well, came us, the Tahumā Kākanui Matua. And so that's our uretārewa, our 3 generations of ariki, who together, the third line, having great uretārewa mana, is able to start off a new iwi. And so that's how Tahumā Kākanui Matua of Te Tura, our hapu super tribal entity, was born. And there are all our tribes in the Western Division. So it's a pretty special place. It's also the part of our divisions. We're in all 4 divisions, by the way, our hapu super tribal entity. And we figure big in our waiatas, all our songs. We figure big, and the reo figures big, but we're not going to let the reo overtake English, because English is where the biggest market is. But we're going to play into that reo market, and we're looking for top seed in the reo market, because we know we've got that sort of reo to offer. We've got the some of the oldest and most precious reo in the country, and and being one of the oldest hapu of the country, that's Tahumā Kākanui Matua hapu nui tonu super tribal entity. So that's us, and that's where the band has been born out of. And we're, of course, bringing through some young people. You'll get to meet them. They're just quite busy. I think they're having a good break at the moment, and some are busy with whānau. You can't miss out those whānau obligations. And, just talking a little bit there about the makeup, the componentry of reggae music, and how to write reggae songs. From the raw, you start off with your tune. You've got a bit of an idea, because you've got a kaupapa. Let's say it's love, and then you've got a tune. Dead. Oh, I've got one tune. Hang on. It goes like this. Hang on. In the raw. I'll do it in the raw. And that's that song I was telling you about that I'm going to do a bit of a snippet of later on. It's a ska. It's a reggae ska song, but we don't... the main strike is ska. So it goes... ska... I told you that in the first and second programs, I think. Ska, G, 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 G. It's quite quick. G, G, G. So this one's... I'm damping a bit, so don't worry about any of those sounds that I make, or even the chords. Don't worry about those. That's how I do my band when we practice. I damp everything out. I a cappella every little touch and sound in a song. And that's, I get them each part, because I'm a front vocalist, so I'm a lead singer, backing vocalist, rhythm guitarist, lead guitarist, drummer, bass, percussionist, and keyboardist. So that's almost every instrument. The only things I don't play is brass, and they're your colouring instruments. We use them majorly for colouring. And lead, sometimes lead colourings, and lead and nice riffs and licks and lines. They're good for that, and I'm using them well in a lot of my songs, especially songs that I want to jazz a bit, bring out the jazz in them a bit, eh? Like this song, ska, reggae ska. And you got the drums on reggae. Sometimes we do it on snare. So sometimes it and that's how that song goes. But it's got some colouring right at the beginning there. It goes straight into the song, so it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and everything starts right on that mark, on the 4, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 1. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And it's got colouring at the beginning there, which goes. So that's trombone, saxophone, and trumpet all at the same time going. And then there's licks and lines through each of the verses. It's a verse straight up. We're just putting finishing touches to that song at the moment. That's He, Hei. And Hey is a love song. And the feel to that song, I'm just showing you how through composition in reggae, starting from, do you remember how the raw of that song went when I first started writing that song? It's a song belonging to friends, and those friends in particular, there was an event that happened between them, and the song was written. But in the end, the event wasn't actually the important thing. It was a really sad, it's a really sad song. It doesn't sound like it, eh? And what I'm trying to show you there is when I first started writing it, it was like this. Because it's a really sad song. And that's how it was really sad and solemn, and but nice. It was still a nice song. But underlying the meaning of that song, so it involves a woman and a man. And underlying that song are the precious feelings and thoughts, and just the wonderful things that the male person thinks about the female person. Now, what I've done is incorporated the in-depth feelings of that song, the in-depth. I've defined in the music the underlying meaning of that song, rather than what's on the surface. What's on the surface is the event, the sad event. And I'll just do I'll do the first bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Biddy-diddy-dip, biddy-diddy-dip, bip, biddy-dip, bip, biddy-dip, biddy-diddy-dip, biddy-dip, bip, biddy-dip, bip, biddy-dip. Mama tito nuki tawhiti nei au I konei. See, so that's the first line in the first verse. Now, so, you know, a sad event in the surface of the words and in the text of the, you know, the content in the words. It's a sad event. Momoti tonu ki tawhiti nei au I konei. You know, instant, distance between these two. Instant distance between them. There was just no way, everything, it was all over. They were apart. Momoti tonu ki tawhiti, and it was almost an immediate thing. And the major and for whole lots of different reasons, but that was the event that happened, and the actual event was heartbreak. That's what that song's all about. It's all about heartbreak, but the underlying meaning of the song talks about, because everything was so sudden, but it talks about the fact that the feelings that the male has for the female are so beautiful. You know, the female is such a beautiful person, such a heart of gold, and so in translating that solemn, sad song of heartbreak, I've made it into ska. Biddy-dip, biddy-dip, bip, biddy-dip, bip, biddy-dip, 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 bip, biddy-dip, bip, biddy-dip, 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 bip, biddy-dip. You know, his little licks and lines from the brass section. Kai te whitu, mai I te whā, me putatu au, I roto I tēnei wā. But I'm just showing you how a reggae song can change. It remains reggae from the raw. Some reggae songs stay in the raw. I mean, look at Jerusalema. It stayed a drum song. You know, it's basically all drums and clap machine and all that sort of thing. So it's a little bit techno sounding, but very reggae, because reggae has a way of repeating itself and getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter as you get through the song. Now I've got to see if our brothers are here, Kelvin and Hamuera. And so I'm going to put us on a song, go to a song break. But that's just an example of what can happen to a reggae song. Work on it. You've got to work on your compositions. And that's how that one's come out. You know, she's a heart of gold. She's pure gold. She's beautiful. Christian woman, and such a delight to behold. And that's the feel of the song. And that song is absolutely a beautiful delight to listen to right through. It's a beautiful song. It's got rap in it as well. It's got all the makings of a modern love song, and especially a lover's rock song, and with dancehall, reggae, ska embedded in there. It goes into a reggae, it goes into a ska with a reggae proper, eject later on. So it goes, what are the words for that part? Oh, something like that. Like that. And then goes back into the ska. And I think in there, when we go back into the main part of the first chord, goes Fatukamo, yeah. Anona hoki imutu kore, yeah. Momo tuto nuki tawhiti nei au I konei. E tikupu o no ho e ku. I can't remember the words. E tikupu no ho e nui korero no e. Ito hoki ri kakapa no ake ano hoki e. Ngaro no ano awe. You know how love songs go. I won't translate that part for you. Not yet. All our songs will have translations on the cover, so yeah, you will get translations once you get to buy our singles, and that's the only time, most of the time, that you'll get translations from us. And so let's go to that music break. The brothers might be stuck downstairs, and I've got to open the door, and so let's do it. Our first waiata comes from Iwi, Katu Kaura, one of my favourite ones. Kia mautaru mai, e tātou mā. Mauri ora.
Katu kaura. A katira kei runga. Nei anō te ropu kei te ara mai anō. Kei te kawe ki te tini mano hine ngaro. Ki ngā take hohonu, ki ngā take o te wā. Ki ngā take whakaoho I te raumano tangata. Te kawe ki ngā hapu o te motu I te karere I te kaupapa Mo te whakapiki ake I te maunga Tua ki te taha tuku a ki raro rā E rā tuāhuatanga a te hunga no Amerika Purutia, kētia a tātou ake tikanga Kia rangatira te tū A tēnei whakatukuranga Ara Te ngako Ara Te ngako Te tino matu e Whaia tēnei tauira Ka tu ka ora koe E hara I te meno naia nei anake No te wao ngā tupuna e nei taonga rawe Akuna whakanuia Whakamahia A ka tu Ka ora Yep Kau he te hio, ka ti te mauma ki a tō E hara I te kaufau he kai Ka whakapono au ki a matau Inga taunga media o te hunga nehera O ngā mātua o tiranga tūpuna Hei tua papa mō, kia whakarito tū Kaua koe anake, tō whānau tō hapu Ko taka mai rā te kapa E hoa mā kei te marama Ko taka mai rā te kapa Pepe dei tō tātou haere whakakua Kia puta I te pō Ki te ao marama Taka hia Te ara whai matauranga Ki te pōrerorero Ki te wārangaranga Meru ko honu Ki te whare wānanga Miri anga taonga a tāua a te Māori Ke pakarira wa te tū A te hunga rangatahi Ko tēnā te aronga a mātou tino mahi Ke kaua noho wehe Engari noho tahi Ko te akoranga tēnā Ko tuku iho He tikarau He tino pono Ara me tū hono hono Ke taia te ki Ko kore au e ngaro Tēnei pura Tēnei kākano Kua rui a mai rangi a tea Ka tū Hei tamatu Hei tamatu Hei tamatu Hei tamatu Hei hine tū Hei hine tū Hei tamatu tamara
Tēnā nō rā tātou kei te rāngona tonu mai rā tātou e tātou mā ki te reo kupu, te reo kōrero o Kaea Matiaha te aro hatai te rangipū a tāta o roto Hawaikirangi I te ngahuru mā whitu mēniti mai I te wha. Kare no kia tae mai aku whanaunga. Hoi anō kare kore kua uti atu te mea hai mea atu I roto I te wā mea. Ngā mea no tēnei rā hai whai atu mā rāiua. Hoi anō kare anō I tai ake mai. Kai te pai tēnā. Yeah, all of that's okay. So we can just carry on and continue to reinforce those two partai. Yeah, and we got gigs, lots of events to come. We've got special people in our band as well that we're going to feature later on. We've also got features of the tabloids to come. And I'm sort of going to wait until we can get more of our whole crew into our whole band into the into one room at more times. So and sort of wait for that. But otherwise, yeah, let's continue on with this reggae music fiesta, and that's what we want to be. That's what Hawaikirangi's aim is going to be. Yeah, and for any name change for us now, because we're going in the right direction with our name, all we need to do is change it to a name that's aligned to the music industry and means something along the same lines. Yeah, so once Calvin and Sam get here, we can discuss that a little bit more, talk about some of the examples that that might come about that we end up talking about, and then we'll choose from each of those names. Of course, we'll need the one that most befits our kaupapa, which is to sing about the struggles of Tahumāka Kanui Matsua in Te Tai Hauau Ruaukati, and carry that in within a vehicle of music that is befitting, and we have our vehicle of music that is befitting, and also to take it into the industry in a way that no one else has, and also with our points of difference. And the way that we know that we can play this music, reggae music, and using all of the skills and all of the abilities of the band. I'm not going to announce who some of the special people are that are a part of our band, but they're people as well that have had a lot to do in the industry. I know lots and lots of people in the industry. Some of those people, some of their songs I'm going to play. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button there. Yeah, so I'm going to play some of their songs today and look to basically, yeah, people like Brannigan Carr. I mean, you know, they're pretty much household names like Herbs. So yeah, I'll have to play a waiata of his today. The Abraham brothers, many Abraham, Hallelujah Abraham, Rania Abraham, the twins, Ruya and Rania. Yeah, they're people I know quite well. I'm just getting one of these songs ready. I can't remember which one. This particular song, this is E Ko Pai, Nā Brannigan Carr. Nā Brannigan Carr. Ngā mea o roto I te reo anō, koia I nei ngā mea e whai atu ana I mātou ki te tuku I te reo irirangi nei, I te pua ka whakata I a Wairarapa whakata. Yeah, so, yeah. These are some of the things you can do with this music. You can do wonderful things, but we don't see a lot of that happening in the New Zealand part of the industry. The New Zealand reggae side is, yeah, it's lacking a great deal. So while we didn't want to come in and look like, you know, whippersnappers and, you know, people that, you know, hot shots, I think you call those sort of people. And so we thought, we'll come in, even on our promotional, like this is a promotional program. It's part of our marketing. And a lot of that will start taking off a bit later on. But once we've got all the band pretty much regularly on board, and apparently we're going to end up with probably about 15 and not 13. So, yeah, it's just looking at what we've got and who we want to keep and who we don't. in terms of who we want to hire for this and that, etc., etc., etc. And some of these guys are pretty special, so we're going to bring them in on the program at some point, but I'm not going to announce them yet. I'd love to, to even do an interview with someone like Manny Abraham. I'll leave the twins. I'll leave Luya and Rania. Because they're always getting bugged by people to, everyone being hōhās to them to try and get some kōrero with them. And, I know them well. They've always been busy in the industry. Me, I didn't like the industry. Some things in the industry would really pee me off. That's why. So, and it's still like that. It's just not as bad now. It's not as bad now. And to rock the industry in our country, which is something I want to do, I want to achieve, and perhaps some world countries, perhaps those that Tahumā Kākanui Matua descends from. That's Raiatea, Tahiti, Maui, Hawaii, and Rapa Nui. We'll touch on them because those are all our close-knit whanaunga. Rapa Nui, the Chathams, they're also my whanaunga as well, the Mutunga and all those people that have taken over there. Samoa, we've got Samoan links, and pretty much those are the places where our lines begin and end. Then we go right through back to the Lapita people, through to Savai'i, connections with the Philippines and Taiwan and countries like that. And then we go into central to the southern point of India, from central to the southern point of India. That whole area was called Hawaikirangi to my people, Te Tahumā Kākanui Matua. And and then on to China, Japan. We've got Japanese links. So maybe all those countries will do some gigs in all those countries, all the way down to Accra, Ghana, Egypt, and Abyssinia, Ethiopia. All our connections, and our connections to this music, reggae music. So let's continue on with reggae music. But first, let's go to another waiata. Let's check out this one. Coming up here, I just want to check again and see if our brothers have arrived. They may have arrived, but might be too shy to come up. Mauri ora kia tātou e tātou mā, kai te ruangahuru, maono meniti mai te whā, mauri ora. E tātou mā, kua hoki ake mai, anō tātou ki a Hawaikirangi, kai te haurua mai i te whā. I roto i tēnei wā o te haora, o te whā o ngā haora, kua tai ake mai, tētahi waua tāngata, kāre anua hāmuera ki a tai mai, hoi anua Kelvin kua tai ake mai, kai te taiwhanga tonu a hau ki a ia. Me taku whai atu, kia kōrero atu ki a ia ki tērā take i kōrero atu ai, i te ingoa. Ara, i te ingoa o te pēne, te whakaputa ki atu o te ingoa o Hawaikirangi. Kia hāngai mai ei te hanga mai o te ingoa ki te pakihi, ki te taha ki te pakihi, ki te taha ki tao te puoro. Tai atu anō i te aro o te tāngata. Ngā tāngata, ngā kai whakarongo, ngā tāngata hoko i te puoro nei, whakarongorongo i te puoro nei anu hoki. E tātou mā, no reira, i te mea nā hoki, kua tai ake mai a Kelvin, kua tai atu rā tērā o ngā take kia kōrero. Ai, kia taiwhanga tonu a hau ki aia ki te hoki mai anō ki roto, me tā māua kōrero atu rā i tērā take. Tētahi o ngā waiata pēr anō māua waiata tia atu ai. Kai te whai atu tonu rā māua i roto i tērā waiata kia whakamārama atu i te takoto taua waiata, te tauira mai, ngā huatanga katoa o roto i te waiata, tai atu hoki ki te puoro i whakauru atu ai, i hanga mai ai i taua waiata, ne? No reira, ko māua tonu tērā māua tahi i roto Hawaikirangi. Kia ora, my cuz. Kia ora. Come, make sure you're close, just a wee bit closer. Yeah.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Kelvin, give us a little ko wai koe.
God, don't be nosy.
Kelvin, good to see you, bro. I know it's hard. You got the old mahi going on, and it's hard work. And so to drag you in on our take for our name again, well, we went through all that just to get to the name to where it is at the moment. What we were going to do, because we already know about that you have to be hāngai to the industry. But what we wanted to do was position the name so it's hāngai so it's totally appropriate, totally aligned to what we wanted to do. And that was it. We were worried about the industry then. Awesome. And now we're down to business. We just wanted to get down to business. Yep. But now that we're getting down to business, it's time. So it was a good thing to bring up near Kelvin.
Right.
Hey. But, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, Kelvin, because there's a lot of people listening out there that wouldn't know who you are from a bar side, my cuz. Kelvin no whea.
Whakamā. Whakamā. Yeah.
Kia my cuz.
Dad's from Marsden and mum's from Whangarei. Family of 11.
True.
And born and bred here.
Cheer, my cuz. Oh, ka pai. Yeah, and we might be even able to get a few licks and lines out of Kelvin today. He's one of our lead guitarists. We've got I've decided to take on two, and it's because it'll give us a couple of different shades to add to the music, to add to reggae music. reggae music's one of the hardest genres and also one of the hardest areas of the industry to cut into. I mean, you've got so many other musics. I was just talking earlier, Kelvin, about the components of reggae music, which are jazz, funk, R&B, soul, and I forgot one before, which is calypso. Calypso is a part of reggae. Ska's also all a part of all those different musics. So that's why you get reggae that's ska sounding or rock steady sounding. All those sort of feels, and that are all part of reggae as well. And so those are the components that make up reggae. Oh, and did I say funk? Yes, and R&B. So funk R&B is pretty much one and the same. And of course, there's soul and gospel pretty well embedded in the voice ranges of the music. Pretty much to fill out a reggae voice, you have to be a gospel or even an operatic to handle reggae. And it's very, very difficult to handle, and that's why we focus a lot on the voice. I was talking about that last week. We do a lot of voice work at practice before we even think about jumping on any instruments. We might get the odd acoustic guitar playing along, but mainly drums going do do da da do do da 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 do do da da. You know, giving us that original soccer feel of the origination music of reggae music from the music of King David, King Solomon of ancient times. Now, Kelvin, we also have the take. I mean, we've just about covered everything, and I think next week we finish this part of this segment of the journey of Hawaikirangi. And it's definitely not Reggae 101, but what we're doing is sharing some of the tips that we have to share on reggae music that a lot of people in the industry are not using, or they just don't know about them, or for whatever reason there is. It has never been a show where we jump on everybody and pull them all down. That's not what we're about. We're coming in, and because we know we've got a lot more than a lot of the bands that are out there today to offer in the music, we want to share some of our tips on the music. So that's what we've been doing. I've had some cheeky... No, they weren't being cheeky, they were just being honest. They're going, oh wow, is that like Reggae 101, you know? So, come on. Put a 9 at the front of it. Put a 9 at the front of it. But no, cuz, awesome to see you, because she's a hard day at the grind, eh?
Yes.
It's always very difficult to get along to, but a great promotional tool, this.
Sure.
It's only one of them. Once we can get more of the crew into one space at one time, mainly around about between 10, we're going to end up with 15. Because I've taken on extras. So that's a big group. It's a big group. Our first lot of gigs, we won't need all of us. I'm probably only going to take between 4 and 6, and they're going to be regular gigs. So yeah, that's pretty exciting, eh? That's Tin Hut, Gladstone Inn, and Citizens and Services.
Awesome.
Cheer, my cuz. And so we are going to hopefully shed a bit more of a a bit more of a masterful, more artistic, more creative angle on the reggae industry in New Zealand.
Awesome.
Hopefully. That's what we're hoping to do in Hawaikirangi. But mostly also to take Tahu Mākāka Nui Matua with us, because Tahu Trust Tahu Investments Limited has always backed our bands and all the bands that I've played in, and produce music in the industry that will take us to who knows where it will take us. Who knows where? But the name. You spoke about the importance of the name, Kelvin, at one point. Share with us a little bit about that, the importance of that.
Oh, yeah. I thought of the word aroha. Most Kiwis know the word aroha. And it's quite big across the world now with the Māori tongue. So the Māori tongue is getting out there and doing it. So it's awesome. So I just thought it was short and sweet so people could remember the name. Yeah. And also, business-wise, the music industry is a business. It's a business. You've got to think of marketing. You've got to think of promotions. You've got to think of advertising. And you've got to think that as soon as your name hits the outside world, that everyone's got to know. Yeah, it's just sharing a bit of love, isn't it? Yeah. That's all it comes down to. Sharing a bit of love. Yep, nice and simple. And so that's Kelvin's one there, and it's sort of the thing about aroha too, Kelvin, is that it can we can turn that around to our kaupapa. Our kaupapa in Hawaikirangi is to sing about basically, what's happened for Tahu Mākāka Nui Matua over the generations, over the last couple of centuries, the difficulties they've faced since the prehistory of our country, which is where Tahu Mākāka Nui Matua comes from. Te awa, Moai Hapu, we come from before the Great Migration, but we also were part of the Great Migration. A lot of our tribes came then, but we already had some here. So the good thing about that is that that shows our seniority in the country. It also shows our long-time heritage in all the areas that we're in the country. There's not many tribes, not many super tribes in all 4 aukati in the country, cuz. True. Yeah. So we might not even get a chance to do a waiata because I can see the time just flying past already. No worries. Time flies. Time flies. Aroha is a good one because that's exactly how we're going to be feeling once we get into some of these kaupapa that we sing about. The struggles, crown, racism. It covers really covers every angle. Biblically it does. It does. There's that. Yep. It covers every angle, no matter how you look at it. Even financial. Got to do it with a bit of love, so that means more money. Aroha, yes. Aroha. There's other ones we can chuck in there, but I think aroha is a good one. It's a good one. But that's one of, just bringing to you all the listeners out there and all those ngā kai mā takitaki out there into Wairarapa television land. That's one of the things we'll be discussing around our group, around our band, is a change of the name to suit the industry. Aroha is one of them, and another one we're going to throw in there because I've already discussed it with some of them is tahu. Oh. Yeah, that's another one. Tahu is directly aligned, directly aligned with our kaupapa. Is more specific. Yep. It's not too general. And it's very, very, very accurately positioned for the band. So tahu, and the reason why tahu So, and it does great for promotions, Kelvin, because tahu has a capital T in the name tahu.
Yep.
And then it has another meaning tahu, because most of our words actually are, they got multiple meanings. So tahu's another one, and it can have a meaning with a lowercase t. Yeah. So in promotions, we even looked at that in promotions and having a logo with a capital T with a cross at the bottom.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it sort of ties in with our wairuatanga through a bit of Christianity, nice. A bit of the Christian side, and Calvin's a Christian too. Ne, Calvin?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Well, we do try hard, don't we? We do try hard. And we'll leave that to the experts mostly. Ne, Calvin? Oh, look. I wanted to get us more of a kōrero, but it's a shame that we've missed out. A lot of times gone by, so we just have to make do with that. I think Brannigan Carr might have to wait because kai te hauwha kai tuake te hauwha ki te rima kua tata tuangahuru ki te rima. So what we're going to do right now is so we got some names there to bandy around. So our next time we get to have a kōrero in the group, which will probably be Sunday at practice, we'll talk over the name and hopefully we come out with one. We got really hoha before. That's why we ended up with Hawaikirangi. We said, let's just leave it there and just, get on with it, eh? Yeah. Because we're dying to just get on with it and get gigging and get practicing and, because that's where it all happens.
Cool.
Without that, nothing happens, And we got sick of sitting around talking. But, hiya. We are at getting nearer to that point where we're actually going to gig and start to look at recording as well. Don't forget, we're going to get a little bit of a look into recording studios and us working in there as well. Some of our gigs, we're going to have snippets from there. We're going to bring them in here and show them to you over the air on Wairarapa TV, us playing the music and actually putting our money where our mouth is, eh? With all these tips and that, I'm hoping that we play it just as well. Hey, cuz, yeah.
I'm still a big Aroha fan.
Yeah. Aroha is a good one. But we'll have a look at that. We'll get things moving on because we'd have to secure that pretty quick and get practicing and get ourselves moving in the industry because things are hotting up. We've got funding to come through. We've got a couple more big fundings around, I think it's early February. Kuia tēnā Hawaikirangi I roto I tēnei rā e tātou mā. Me tō tātou whakauti atu I ngā kōrero te wā. Tai atu anō I ngā kōrero hāngai tonu ki te hanga mai o te puoro kīngi mangu e kōrero hiake nei. Tēnei o ngā puoro e kawe atu nei ngā kōrero o tahu mā kā kanui matua I roto te tai hauauru au kati. E tātou mā me tō tātou whai atu I nei kōrero. Hai aha, hai whakamaumahara atu ki ngā tūpuna, tūā kanakana o roto I ngā rohe nei, I roto I te au kati nei, I ngā wenua, e nei wenua, I noho nui ai, e ngā tūpuna tūā kanakana nei, I roto I etahi, kua hanga ware atu, ne? Kua hanga ware atu. Anō reira rā e tātou, kia inoi atu tātou, ne? Kia whakamutu atu anō rā e koe. Nā hau anō I tī matai whanake ai, te ariki atua, te iehua, I ngā mea, I ngā kōrero, hei whai atu I roto I a mātau I tēnei rā tonu. Nā, kai tēnei wā tonu nei, hei whakatituki atu, tēnei o ngā whakamoe miti ki a koe, tēnei o ngā kupu ki a koe, hai tuku ngā tū māhaku, whakamoe miti, whakawhētai, whakamoe miti, ki roto ki tō hui ingoa matahi apo. Ake.
Amen.
Āmene. Kia ora mai, kas. Kia ora.
Ori noa, te rā e o ai koe, e kore rereke, toka nohi te kaka. Hai timata, te rā e te tau, ko te aroha ki au, ki a taua uri e.
Ko tō aroha e kore mutu, kei konei au i ngā wā katoa. Ka taia e tāua toko rua, te hanga, te ara ora, ko koe ko au mea tāua uri e, ko koe ko au poa tāua uri e, a ke tonu e, ko koe